need to see their club because it is their addiction. It's back. It's back. The Super League is back. The Super League is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It is going to happen. But it will not happen in the next year. It may not even happen in the next 2 years or 3 years. But it is eventually going to happen. And we're just going to have to accept that. Like, it is going to happen. But I want to revisit this because I think talking about the Super League now, because this is going to be major for football, a major thing for football. And I think an aspect I want to talk about now is different fans and different groups of fans, because that will ultimately determine the success of the Super League and also why the Super League is going ahead. Let me remind you of where I am. Let me remind you of where I am right now. I want the Super League to happen. But I do believe that there are certain changes that need to happen for it to operate in the right way. You know, and the key to life is balance. The key to life is balance. It's not about just going fully in one way, fully another way. It's about balance. Balance is the key to life. There's something good about the American model, but not everything in the American model is good. What is good about the American model? You never know who's going to win the Super Bowl. You never know who's going to win the NBA playoffs because there's parity there. If you look at the NBA, which is what I watch more than the NFL, in the modern era, the most you get is a three-peat. The Bulls three-peating twice with Jordan in the 90s, and of course, I think the Lakers three-peated twice, or maybe it was once, I'm not sure. So, but apart from that, one time, two times, I don't think the Warriors three-peated. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the Warriors three-peated. So, but why is that? Because there's parity. There's parity there. So therefore, it is a much more enjoyable product to watch because teams are much closer together. Therefore, you get much more engaging and singles matches. You don't get lubrication upon circumcision, upon baptism, or upon prenatal engineering, upon colonization. But what I don't like about the American model is there is no jeopardy. There's no relegation. And that is where I think the model in Europe, South America, Africa, I think is superior because I like that. Yeah, I like that whole thing of, you could lose something if you don't say what's up, you know, and I think the idea of having permanent members was not good. And I think that is what, many things pretty much ruined the whole idea, but that thing of permanent members and they never leave, that's great for a Daniel Levy, who's only here for making money, but this is still sports, it is still competition, and I think the very heart and soul of football is, there must be some form of jeopardy. If you're in a cup competition, you lose, you get knocked out. You can't play in there again. So you have to qualify for that competition. Like World Cup, you've got to qualify to go through qualifications. So there has to be, jeopardy is a great important part of football, which you don't have in the American model. So 100% UEFA are going to now push against that. And it makes sense, you know, because UEFA want to have their model. Although I believe, I think it's 2024, UEFA is going to have exactly the same thing. I think it's like 32 or 36 teams in one league. So they're pretty much replicating what the Super League guys are trying to do. So they know that a form of this is going to happen. But here's my thing here. I think we have to sort of decipher between the two sets of fans. The traditional fan and the new, younger kind of fan. You see, what the Super League guys are about is they know that the new kind of fan, they know that the new kind of fan is saying what's up. They're younger, they consume these things a lot more, they're extremely active on social media, and they are more fans of players than they are fans of teams, and that is very important to note. This new kind of younger fan, and also even the younger fan now, I mean, the guys who are going to be 18 in 5 years' time, who are going to be 18 in 10 years' time, these kids are going to be more drawn towards the individual, the superstar, the person that they follow daily on Instagram, the person that they want to know what they're doing every single aspect of time. These are the kind of guys that people will want to follow. Like Mbappe is going to be a major star that everybody will gravitate towards in the future. So Having a product where you can see these guys every single day, because this new kind of fan doesn't care about Southampton or Norwich. This new kind of fan is not going to watch their team play Norwich or Southampton or any of these lower teams. This new kind of fan, who is a fan of the player rather than the team, want to see the best against the best, so they can say, my guy beat your guy, or my guy did better than the guy. Okay, both of our guys are here. Let's see who's going to win. Oh, look at my guy shoot a guy. What did your guy do? That's what they want to do, so when they can comment on social media. So that is where football is going to go. Fans who are much more than the player. But that is not as much as a sustainable model as the traditional fan. The traditional fan, he's the guy that's against the Super League. They want to keep the league, they want to keep the tradition and so forth. But the traditional fan is what I explained to you guys. So, I used to do business studies and so forth. And there's elastic and inelastic product. And an elastic product fluctuates through demand and could be a trend, like a fashion item. It could be a trendy now. It could no longer be trending, therefore not sell. And an inelastic product you always need. You always need toiletries. You always need groceries. So these are things that you will always need and will never ever be low. There will always be a demand of this product. And just like what we're seeing here, with the traditional fan will always go to that game. The traditional fan will always attend those matches. They're always going to be in there because it's more than football. For the new kind of fan, it's purely about football. They may get bored. What if their player retires? What if the player has a long-term injury? What if they just fall out of the love of the game and go somewhere else? This could happen. For the traditional fan, this is more than football. This is family. This is culture. This is part of their life. This is part of who they are. They are about Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Barcelona, Bayern, FC Porto, Benfica, PSG, Monaco, Dortmund. They're about these teams 24/7. Liverpool, name all of these freaking teams. Juventus, Lazio, it's AC Milan. They're about this club throughout, because for them, this club isn't about football. It's about the relationship they have with their father. Their very first memories, their father taking them to this game. So it's deeper. It means a lot more. Because it means a lot more. Win, lose, or draw, whatever the weather may be, spring, winter, whatever, they are going to be in there supporting their team, buying the tickets to those games. So you can't alienate to those fans, not because of a Disney Plus reason, but for a financial money reason. So where do we go from here with regards to this Super League thing? It's going to happen. But I do think that it has to happen in a very specific way, because you have to understand that football is too big. And it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like the moment that football took over, remember, boxing was the #1 sport for decades. Then football took over from boxing around the 90s, when you saw Tyson pretty much go, because Tyson was the last main big draw of boxing. Once he went away, football took the torch, and then we had your boy Ronaldo, then obviously Dino, of course Messi, Cristiano, and so forth, and now Mbappe take the torch. And now football is king now. Shout out to Super Bowl and everything. Football is king. Football sits on the throne, and as football sits on the throne as the #1 sport, leeches. Everybody wants a little piece. Look at all of the billionaires looking to buy teams. Stan Kroenke, what the hell does? Do you think Stan Kroenke would want to buy a football club back in the 90s or so forth? But you want to buy one now because it is amazing business, because the demand for it is crazy. Guys, look how the YouTube community now. Football was big in 2010. It was bigger in 2012. It was bigger in 2015. It was bigger in 2017. It was bigger in 2019. It was big. And with each given year, it's getting bigger and bigger. And with this World Cup, which could be Messi and Cristiano's last, it's going to get even bigger as well with the narratives of that. So Real, Barca, Milan, Juve, these guys, they understand that, look, financially, things are tricky for them. People can say, whoa, Arsenal, because Premier League clubs don't need the Super League. They are fully sustainable and they're fine. So they don't need them. But for Juve and Real, they're like, we need this to survive. And you can punch your finger and say, that is bad financial practice of not being able to make your club as sustainable as the Premier League. But then you can see on the adverts, look at the amount of money that the Premier League generates, TV money. Maybe have it said Barcelona Liga President, you should have. See, now it's tricky. But during the height of El Clasico with Messi and Cristiano, you could have done it a lot better to spread the money, spread the wealth, and promote the fact that you had the 2 best players on the planet in your league for a freaking decade. I don't understand how La Liga does not have money flowing through by not capitalizing on having the 2 top players on the planet for the best part of a decade fighting for Ballon d'Ors, and they're both in your freaking league. No other league has had 2 players of that profile in their peak in the league for that amount of time. It's never happened before. So have it to Bas, you hold an L. La vie le Bas. So look, man, I mean, I feel that where do we go from here? It's gonna happen. I just don't know when. I just don't know when. But with more and more foreign owners coming into these teams and so forth, I think that how the Super League presented, it was too quick, it was too sordid. But if the package is better created and better cultivated, you see, this is what people don't understand. The fans can fight all they want and so forth. But you have to understand that for the fan, seeing the team, it's a crack addiction. You can fight all you want. So if the Super League goes ahead, blah, we hate you, we blah, 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 we never watch. Chelsea versus Bayern, Man United versus Barcelona for the first Super League game. Oh, if you want to turn up, there are thousands waiting to turn up. Why is Old Trafford always full up? Are you saying it's full because those are all the guys that buy? No. Let 1 or 2 guys say, I can't make it. Oh, I can. My guy from Thailand, my guy from Nigeria, my guy from Malaysia, my guy from Canada, and so forth. Oh, they are waiting to see and watch Man United play, especially play against a Real, a Barcelona, an AC Milan, and so forth. So the traditional fan may be angry about this, but the traditional fan is a crack fiend. He's a crack fiend. They need to see their club because it is their addiction, which is why they represent an inelastic product. They will always show up. And if that fan process and doesn't show up, there are hundreds of others that will be happy to take your place. It's the reality. Like that vid, subscribe if you're new for that daily content, and what do you guys think about the Super League? One love.